A fairy is out for a walk. Nobody can see her. What a lovely weather, she thinks. I will grant a wish to whomever I meet next. A dog turns around the corner. His name is Nelson, and he is Phoebe's dog. Phoebe comes right after. She has Nelson on a leash. The fairy walks up to Nelson and makes herself visible. Now Nelson can see the fairy, but Phoebe can't see her. So, what is your wish? The fairy asks. But Nelson speaks no fairy. He just stares at her. Phoebe looks at Nelson. What is it, Nelly? Do you smell something? Ruff! Nelson answers and walks past the fairy with Phoebe. Well then, the fairy exclaims, but I will soon find out what your wish is. They come by a large dog on the path. Nelson sniffs the large dogs behind. The large dog barks. Ruff! Nelson jumps away scared. They pass the large dog. Nelson hides behind Phoebe. I see, says the fairy happily. You shall have some fragrancy behind to sniff. The fairy waves her wand. Simsalabim, fine bump behind. Look! 5 fine furry behinds appear in front of Nelson. But Phoebe can't see them. Only Nelson can see them. He wags his tail and sniffs the first behind. Phoebe watches Nelson. Whatever is it, Nelly? Do you smell something? But hold on. This behind smells of roses. Nelson sniffs the other behind. That smells like soap. The kind of soap Phoebe uses on Nelson. Nelson hates that smell and sneezes. Roar. Phoebe laughs. What are you up to, Nelly? The fairy sighs. Nelly doesn't like my behinds at all, but I will make him happy. She follows Phoebe and Nelson along the path. Nelson sniffs some old dog doo-doos. Now I see, the fairy thinks. I will give Nelly a new exciting doo-doo. The fairy waves her wand. Abracadabra-doodly-doo-doo. Look, a giant fresh doo-doo from a bear lies by the side of the path. Nelson goes and sniffs it. It smells dangerous. Nelson raises his hackles and barks loudly. Woof, woof, woof. Nelly? Phoebe looks nervous. What is wrong? Phoebe squats and pats Nelson. The dog relaxes and they begin walking again. Nody, 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 the fairy yells. Nelly wasn't the least bit happy. But I'm not giving up. The fairy follows Phoebe and Nelson. Nelson is thirsty and wants to drink. He pulls his leash. Phoebe slowly steps toward the edge. So you want a bath? The fairy smiles. I can help you with that. The fairy gets her wand. She points it at Phoebe's hand that holds the leash. Hocus pocus, latus gotus. Phoebe's hand lets go of the leash. Nelson falls in the water with a splash. Oh! Oh! Nelson howls with fear. He paddles the water with his paws. Oh no! The fairy yells and covers her eyes. Phoebe lies down on her stomach at the edge of the lake. She stretches her arms and grabs Nelson's fur. Phoebe pulls the dog toward her. Nelson's paws reach the edge and he gets up on land. He shakes and drops of water fly through the air. The fairy drops her hands and sees the red dog. My, my, my. She walks over to Phoebe and Nelson. The fairy makes herself visible to them both. Phoebe stares at the fairy. Are you a fairy? Yes, the fairy sighs. It is my fault. I made Nellie fall in the water. Why? Asks Phoebe. I thought fairies were nice. I just wanted to make Nellie happy, the fairy sniffles. But I can't. Please help me. Do you know what would make Nellie happy? Phoebe ponders a bit. I know what makes us both happy,